It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Hello everyone and welcome to Empire of Sin. We're going to start a new game and do a little campaign, so I hope you will join us and stick with us.
You and I
as
can
we
do plenty of business.
Start.
How's it going, kid?
With our new leader, who is going to be none other than the most notorious gangster of the time.
Good choice.
Mr. Al Capone.
Good decision.
Here he is. So
Alphonse
his outfit is known as
Nice
the
to
outfit.
meet you.
We're going to start with him. Full neighborhoods, minimum factions, difficulty lieutenant. And let's see how we get on.
Evening, sir.
That's right. I'm just in from Brooklyn. Give me the local lowdown.
Well, if you're looking to move some hooch, you ain't the only one. A lot of two-bit gangs are looking to make their mark on the city here.
They haven't met me yet. I'll give them a taste of how we do things in New York.
Did you say you're from Brooklyn? Ain't been there in years. How's she holding up?
She's holding steady, friend. My buddy Frankie Yale's running things there now. Swell guy. Gave me my first job.
Frankie Yale, huh? The same Frankie Yale that just showed up in Chicago?
You're shitting me. Frankie's in Chicago?
Well, his name was definitely Frankie. Drove him myself. Italian guy, coming in from New York, right? Carries a box of god-awful cigars with his face plastered on him. Don't tell me there's more than one of these guys.
That's Frankie. You know where he's staying?
Nah, he didn't say. But I can find him for you, if you help me with something.
What do you need?
There's a gang that's been messing with my cab. Slashing my tires, stealing stuff. They're trying to rattle me. I'd appreciate it if you took care of them.
Sure. What's in it for me?
Apart from Frankie Yale, how about I give you a line on a few crates of booze? That ought to keep you going for a while.
All right. You got a deal.
Thanks, Mr. Capone. Say, looks like we're almost there. It's been a pleasure. Good luck to you.
Likewise.
So we are playing as the notorious Al Capone in Empire of Sin, which is a new, or fairly new, I think it came out this year or last year now, by Paradox.
You got it, boss. I've been around the block a time or two, so I've left some tips for
We'll
you.
skip the tutorial. And what we will do is straight away upgrade our capital and our safe house because we don't want to get taken out. So we go ahead and upgrade that. We upgrade the security and we also want to upgrade the production. Just because if all else fails, this is going to be the only place that we'll actually have that has any production.
This is the Black Book.
So once that's done, I need to look and see who we actually need or want in our faction. Gonna need some help, can't do it all ourselves. So I'm gonna pick up someone that I know to be fairly good and start with a submachine gun, which is Maria Rodriguez. So she'll take 2% of profits, so it will probably put us in the negative. But we'll pick her up because she's got that machine gun and she's a pretty decent associate for us. So we pick her up, give her a new trait, and we can see her relations as well, but we'll probably get into that when we get a little bit deeper into the game. But at the outset it's more just about setting up in our neighbourhood. We need to sort of establish ourselves before we can do anything else. So we can see the neighbourhood at the moment, and we need to travel all the way down there to the White Hand Guard. So we're going to make our way there now. And I can see there's a bunch of derelict buildings around us. So there's plenty we can work with. Now Alphonse himself doesn't actually have that many weapons, so we're going to try and find him some decent weapons as and when we can. But that is something that we're going to bear in mind throughout the gameplay. But hopefully this is a game that you would be interested in seeing a little more of. I've been enjoying tinkering around with it. It's quite a pretty game. I think there's probably some improvements that they could afford to do. But we'll see what Paradox does with it, because it's not been out for too long.
Gotcha. You must be fucking
So
joking.
here we meet our first opposing faction, or competing faction, in the form of the Donovans, who are an Irish gang. So we may well forge an alliance with them, or probably go to war with them. They're not the friendliest of bunches, and I don't think we really have much affiliation towards them anyway, but we'll see what happens. So we eventually get to our guy and also meet another new faction, Hip Sing Tong.
But fine.
We don't want to start any beef just yet, we just want to get some missions on. There's probably one bad thing, is that in the actual street dialogue you don't get any voice acting, which is a bit of a shame. But this was our first little bit of combat here, so we were testing Alphonse and also how Maria would do. She gets that nice start perk where she gets a free shot on someone that moves, which proves quite handy, particularly later on. So we're going to have a little test around and see how we do. It'll be good to try and get someone killed as soon as we can. And I'm just looking at Alphonse's special, which is a suppressing fire effect. It seems like it's pretty impressive. Now if I were to move Maria in here, as I learn later, she would get shot by it, so it is susceptible to friendly fire, which is something I need to be aware of. But as his special, it's a pretty good special, so all of the bosses will have a unique special ability, some much better than others, so there is something to be conscious of when you are picking who you want to lead your gang. But there Maria finishes off our first victory, and that's going to be a little bit of easy loot, and a first successful mission for our taxi driver. He's going to give us some info on Frankie Yale, who's one of Alphonse Capone's associates, who happens to be in the city. So we get some free booze from him, which is good because we need booze for our rackets, be they brothels or casinos. I think at the moment we only have a speakeasy and a brewery, so not too much going on for us. We're a pretty small time. So we want to go and start doing as many missions as we can to build up our cash, because we're going to need that cash to invest when we start fighting for newer buildings. So I like to try and use the persuasion here, because it also improves our skill, and if we get a pass it saves us cash and keeps improving Alphonse's skills, which is definitely worth us doing. So we've met a new faction, which is the sort of generic faction. They're not any particular leader, but they hold quite a bit across neighbourhoods. So if it's not held by a gang member, it's held by this lot. And we need to go and find our friend. So we're going to enter the Red Widow and see if we can have a chat with him. And he seems to be down here, so we'll have a quick chat with him, see what he's got. So you can see that the game actually has sort of a semi-story missions, which is quite nice. And of the two campaigns I've played, both have been different, so I think each leader has a slightly unique storyline. So Frankie here shouldn't actually be here, he should be in New York. But nevertheless, he's here and he's lost $1 million. So he's asking us to help him get it back. And we're going to get paid about 10 grand for doing the job for him. 5 in advance and 5 when the job is done. So that's a good little bit of cash flow for us straight off the bat that we can use to invest in a couple new rackets. So I'm probably going to take that cash and make a start on trying to establish a little bit of business premises. We need to get doing that and also hire a new gun. We're going to hire Hugh Tank Miller, primarily because he's cheap. He only takes 2% of the profits, but also he is an enforcer, so he's a little bit tougher, which we'll need in combat. So between him, Maria, and Alphonse, we have a nice little start team. You can see we're losing about $400 a turn. That's okay, that's sustainable, because at the moment we just have no rackets, so we're not making any money. But when we start actually getting combat, we'll have a good team where we can start picking up places nice and quickly. So we're going to finish this job for Frankie, earn that extra 5k and his loyalty, and then we should be good. Once again, Maria's perk there comes into its own, getting some free damage straight away on a white guard that we can just kill off in the first turn. Frankie himself seems in a bit of a vulnerable position, so I'm half tempted to just run him off. He does get the option to overwatch, but I don't think he actually has a view, so I want to move him into cover. Just get him out of the firing line, because I think if he dies, that's going to be a mission over. Maria, meanwhile, she can just execute the person that she pretty much killed in the first place. So there are those unique animations in the game, which is quite a nice touch. I'm gonna move my enforcer up because he is that much tankier. Put him into Overwatch, and if either of these guards want to pop out, they're going to be welcomed by that nasty surprise. So Alphonse, he's got excellent movement range, so we're going to move him in perfect range, and if we can, use his special to suppress both of them. Should they move, they'll get another shot. If he kills one, if the other chap moves, he's going to get shot again, which is perfect for us. Frankie has a little bit of fire on him. He actually does get the hit there, which was quite a lucky hit. We're going to move Maria in. Now again, I need to be conscious that if I move into Alphonse's target area there, she would die. And it wouldn't be good for our morale. But luckily, managed to do it. Managed to get Frankie all that he needs. And he's going to be nice and happy with us. So the plot thickens and we can see that the money is being kept in a nice secret location by whatever faction or family's got it. But we get the extra 5k there, which we're going to put to use straight away in building up our empire. So what I'm going to do is travel straight back to the safe house. Looks like we've had some booze stolen, so some of our brewery trucks are hijacked. Another mission that we're going to have to look into, but for now we want to get home and make our way into these derelict buildings and start taking them over to establish some businesses. But we meet another Italian crime family, the Jenners, who we might actually want to form an alliance with because we may have some similar associations.
Woohoo!
Now you saw a brief look there at the perk tree. We'll probably go into more detail in that a bit later, but much like with XCOM, it's perks for your characters, so you can sort of model them how you want, give them weapon proficiencies that you like. Now this chap seems like he's a little bit on his own, so I'm going to try and pick him off as quick as I can because my 3 characters are nearby. Now swap weapons is free, it doesn't actually cost you an action point. Movement costs you 1 within those white bars, and within the yellow will cost you 2, so I only want to use 1 action point for him. I'm hoping he gets the shot off, which he actually does, which was absolutely perfect for me. So I can use Alphonse here to kill him off. And I'm safe in the knowledge that he is 1 less enemy for us to deal with. Maria, meanwhile, we're probably going to pop into Overwatch just in case someone wants to come a little too close to us. She can deal with them nicely. She actually manages to get all 3 hits, which is quite rare. But excellent news for us, so she should be able to finish him off in no time at all. Hugh's not going to get much of a shot here because he's using the semi-auto, so we'll move him across the truck and swap his weapon out for his pistol just for that little bit of higher accuracy. It's still not a great accuracy, but it's better than what we have with the shotgun.
Damn it!
Meanwhile, Alphonse is going to head on over across, see if he can damage the chap behind the brick wall. And we now know that Maria can charge on in and she can finish him off nice and quickly for me. 1 less enemy to deal with. She does take a hit there, but she's not too injured, so I'm kind of happy for her to continue. I don't have to rush her out. I'm going to swap him out back to the shotgun because this chap is now that much closer. We're hoping he is going to get the hit. It's only a 45%, or we do the shotgun blast, which would be slightly less damage. We luckily do get the hit there. Meanwhile, Alphonse actually needs to reload, and because he's only got his secondary, I can't swap out a weapon for him. So we do need to find him a new weapon at some point, which we will do, but that does cost him a movement action point for his reload. So we're going to move Maria in, see if she can get a couple of shots off on this guy.
Stupid jackass! Bullseye.
She manages to get 1, plus we've got Alphonse in Overwatch, so he'll get a shot off, which will also stammer the enemy. Now Hugh's got the free wheel to just rock up on this thug and blow the shotgun right into his face. I also can see that he's got the perk that he's got nervous twitchy fingers, so his marksmanship is actually a little bit lower, which is a bit of a shame.
You got it.
But Alphonse here is going to finish off the final thug, and we're going to have our first building taken. So we will take it over and make it into something that's going to make us money. Now the speakeasy makes us good money, but it does require alcohol, so we will need to invest in breweries as well. But for now, what we want to do is just build this up a little bit, upgrade the security, upgrade the ambience so we get better clientele, and also deflect, so the police are less likely to come in here.
Gotcha.
Now we could rush those, but I don't want to be spending that money when we're not in any wars right now, so we've got the time to kill. On to the next building to achieve a new business venture for the whole gang. So this time we're actually up against 4 guys. Again, we get that opening shot with Maria, which is just perfect. She basically killed a guy already. We've got a couple of guys near us, and I'm just seeing if you can actually kill him from here. Probably wasn't the best decision to move him there. I could have moved him closer to the thug nearby. But he does get the hit on the thug nearby, so that was fortunate and quite lucky for us. I'm going to go with a double hit just to make sure that he dies. I didn't want him to survive because I know that Maria can go straight across and kill this last thug. Whilst in cover as well, so she's nice and protected.
Stupid jackasses!
Hugh takes a bit of a bashing there, but he's okay. I've got some medkits if I need them, but I don't want to use them too regularly. Plus we get a shotgun at point blank range, so we get a nice crit there. I want Alphonse to kill him off because I don't want Hugh to be taking too much damage. So another melee hit won't do him any good. So we'll kill off that chap, and we can also put in a little bit of suppressing fire on the final enemy gang member. And we get a little bit lucky there. Maria actually gets all her hits. And we also get lucky with the loot. We picked up a nice shotgun, which we can give Hugh, and also the Mauser, which I'm going to give to Alphonse for a slightly better pistol with higher clip amounts, so he doesn't have to reload. And we make our first brothel here, so we're going to try and boost our income a little bit.
You want to learn about talent trees?
And again, we're going to upgrade the security straight off the bat. We're going to upgrade the ambience, and we're also going to upgrade the deflect. I don't want the police raiding my buildings. Eventually, when we start making enough money, we'll probably improve word of mouth, but for now, it doesn't seem like it's worth that extra 1k investment. So Alphonse will get that. We could give him the shotgun, but on second thought, I think it's better to give it to our enforcer, give him the better shotgun, because he is our damage dealer. And that is our second business.
Understood.
In a pretty quick succession. So you can see we've picked up the buildings that we can pick up over there, and now we're going to head further north. So we're going to have this sort of block nice and centrally controlled just by us, which is kind of rare. There's a lot of derelict buildings, so not many other gangs have actually moved in. And our safe house is actually upgraded, which, as you can see, has affected our income already. So we're not losing that much money now. Plus we're making a little bit of booze. Not much, but it's a little bit to keep us in the plus. Maria once again bringing it home with her reaction shots. Now we're going to hope that Hugh can get a point blank on this thug. I was half hoping he would get the crit and kill him in one, and he does, because he's an absolute beast.
You should know better now.
So Alphonse comes in his own here. He puts down this suppressive fire, which we're using to try and keep them a bit away from the rear. I don't want her getting injured, so we're kind of using her as bait as well. She's going to go into Overwatch. If anyone starts coming too close, they're going to get hit twice. But unfortunately, Alphonse's suppressing fire cuts short. Maria does get a kill, but not quite to the full extent I was hoping for.
Right.
But Huey luckily gets another point-blank shotgun kill. And he's doing much more damage now, which I'm happy to see.
Gotcha.
And meanwhile, Alphonse is going to put in a couple of point-blank shots, hopefully to kill, and he gets the final kill. Now for this one, casinos I know are not necessarily the best for us because you can also start losing money. So I consider another brothel just because it's guaranteed income. You get more for more booze that you have. So it seems like a good idea. And with that we have our first 5 rackets. And again I'm going for the old tried and tested upgrade security, deflect and ambience. So now Alphonse is getting a nice little empire on his hands. The block is kind of secure, but we get this strangest proposition which says one of our rackets is going to get raided. So we need to do something about that. So we move to the missions and we need to find this guy called Eddie, have a chat with him and see what's going on. Luckily he is sat in one of our rackets already. I think the developers did a pretty good job of making the city fairly dynamic. It's nice to see all the people wandering around, all the cars. Your guys do kind of hit the cars and sometimes they phase through like Capone did just then. But for the most part the city looks pretty good. So there is a mercenary that we could potentially pick up, but we're not going to pick him up because we're not high enough notoriety for him. He is not willing to join us. So we have our chat with Eddie through the wall. And basically, Eddie needs to die. And he's in one of my brackets, so we also get the bonus of having our guards that we're able to use for the action. I'm going to move Alphonse a little bit closer to make sure he gets the 100% hits. And we'll just unload into Eddie, make sure that he gets killed. Maria as well gets a couple of good hits, and we're going to put Hugh directly in front, point blank, shotgun range, in the hope he gets a nice crit. But Eddie lasts with 1 health left, unlucky for us. So the outfit guard has got to be the one to finish the job. 70% range from there. He does great work for us. That guy deserves a promotion. So that's that mission done for us. We can now return to the stranger and hopefully our building is no longer going to get raided. He should be pleased because we've actually dealt with what he wanted. And he is pleased. So the River Lounge, it's not going to get raided and it's nice and discreet. But with that we pick up a rocket potch and a metal lined waistcoat so we can improve the armor of someone, and the watch is actually a nice little boost as well that I want to give to Capone. It gives him extra movement but also his initiative.
You
And we're
picked
going
up
to give
somebody.
the armor to Maria because she's a little bit squishy. So just for her survivability, I think it's worth giving it to her rather than our enforcer because he's got that extra health. So you can see the talent tree here. You can pick 1 per tier. So we're having a look here to see what we can get. And then rather than make you watch our travels, we go to Henry, who is one of our employees, who's got a job for us, just for us to earn a little bit more money, and he's saying we need to pick up a new brewery, otherwise we're going to run out of beer or whiskey. So he's saying we can either attack the Donovans or just find a whole new brewery ourselves. Now I don't particularly want to start a gang war just yet. We're not really that established. I'm still upgrading my place's security, and instead of rushing it, I want to take the time for them to upgrade naturally. So I'd rather find a derelict building and invest the cash into a new brewery. And luckily there are plenty of derelict buildings around. So we're going to go find the one with the least resistance that we can pick up nice and quickly. And we're going to go send the whole gang there.
You got it. Gotcha.
Now, finally we actually managed to get into the building and start attacking. This one looked a little bit dangerous. There were a lot more people.
For you.
Unfortunately, I'd swapped out Maria's weapon, which was a bit annoying because she might have got the kill. But we're going to use Alphonse's special, but then I think actually the other chap's not in range. It's probably not worth it. Can I move and get a better position and get them both? Which we actually can. Meanwhile, Huey can go across and hopefully get a point-blank range on our enemy to the south and get a nice kill. Maria can get a better defensive position and she can start taking some pot shots with her submachine gun and do a little bit of damage for us. Doesn't quite get the kill, but as soon as that guy moves, he's dead. Luckily that chap misses his hit, otherwise I think he would have caused us to stop our suppressing fire. But Alphonse, I'm just going to get to kill the chap closest to us. I'm hoping Maria will be able to kill the guy far away. And I'm going to start moving Hugh to pick off this guy that's completely unengaged yet. I get a little bit lucky here, hoping she gets one hit, but she doesn't.
What the fuck?
So our luck ran out. Luckily he didn't get any shots off, so we're not getting any injured. We get lucky with Hugh though, who does get a nice crit. And Alphonse is going to go over and just finish the job on this thug. There's nothing left. He's got one health. It's really an execution. And I'm hoping Hugh gets a nice shot off here. It's only 58% chance, but it's worth the risk. Unfortunately, he misses it. So we've got to keep going, and I try and use Maria as a little bit of a barrage to make him think he needs to run. And he actually does. He doesn't get a shot off, which is perfect for us. Alphonse can actually come on over, and he can use his free shot for that crit and that kill.
Yeah!
So with this we take it over and we're going to buy a brewery. It's a little bit expensive, but we need it. It's also for a mission. We're going to upgrade the security, we're going to upgrade the production here, and we're also going to upgrade the alcohol quality. I don't want to just necessarily have pure swill. We want to get as good as we can. We also upgrade the deflect because it's important to have this building keep going. It's going to be the lifeline for us. Breweries are extra important because they fuel your business as well. Now the Jenners want me to give them some cash. I'm not going to succumb to it. I've got higher notoriety than they do, and they've really not got any substance in the neighbourhood, so I'm not going to curtail to them asking me for money.
You're looking fierce, well.
But the Donovans decide to do exactly the same. Now they are on a block nearby, but I'm pretty sure that my guys are going to be okay. We've got a few people on the streets, so I'm kind of happy with what we are. We're continuing to upgrade our places, so for now I think we're all good. And Henry is going to be happy because he's now got his brewery. So So we're actually making quite decent money now, about 500 a turn. And also plus 12 now on the alcohol, so we're in no way in deficiency in any way, shape or form. The cash flow is a little bit lower because we've been investing so much. So we might go ahead and do a little bit more mission-wise, just so that we're not so low on cash. We've invested a lot into the properties. There are a couple of low-level derelict buildings that I probably do want to pick up on before the Donovans do. So I'll go ahead and do that. And whilst we're doing that, a lot of our buildings are upgrading in the background, and that's only going to keep increasing our income and increasing our production of alcohol. So again, we get the same warehouse scenario, 2 thugs close by. Maria gets a pretty decent opening round shot. Alphonse, for some reason, goes all the way around here, which I found slightly annoying. We're going to take a crit shot on this thug. And then I'm going to get Hugh to try and do his double shotgun shot so that he damages both, in the hope that it would kill both. Unfortunately, it only kills one. We get close to killing the other one, so Maria's going to have to finish him off. But that's okay. She gets a nice bonus for her machine gun. And neither of these thugs actually get a shot on us, so we are free to move around and have free reign. And luckily Alphonse has got enough action points that I could use his rain of fire here, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Any of these two moves, they're going to get in a whole heap of pain. Meanwhile, I can get my other two characters into nice positions. I did misclick here with Hugh. He's not quite in a good position. But I'm not too worried because the thug is going to get hit by our suppression if he moves.
Of course.
So we just reload Maria because she's not really got much else that she can do right now. The thug gets hit. He's completely suppressed. There's nothing else he can do. That thug walks point blank into Capone's submachine Tommy gun. And I'm going to move Capone and he can finish the job really with his Mauser pistol, point blank, 1 shot, 1 kill. And with that we pick up a nice model 1915 pistol as well, which actually I need to give to someone. So again, we need to consider what we want here, and I think because we've now got that extra brewery, we can afford another speakeasy, because we earn pretty good income from them. This is going to run us a little bit dry on the money front though, because we do need to upgrade the security and again the deflect and the ambience, but it is worth it. It's something we need to do, but now we need to concentrate on missions to get that cash flow up once more.
Gotcha.
At least though we're making plus 500 now. And we became enemies with the Donovans from this point, but I didn't really notice it, so I kind of carried on as if nothing too bad was going on. They didn't really attack us, so it didn't seem like it was the worst thing in the world. And we got this note translated from Frankie. And he found out where they're stashing the cash, so we will go and help him as and when.
You got it.
But first I want to do a few other missions. So I need to speak to my workers. Now I thought they would be in here, but actually apparently I have no workers in here. So it is off to outside that we must go.
You got it.
And We see another citizen in the street, so there are citizens that will give you missions. And this is actually part of the mission that we have, so it's not entirely new. But you can see our cash flow keeps increasing because I keep upgrading the buildings through time. I haven't invested to rush them. I wanted to save the cash. Because we're at peace, there's no point rushing them. And this is just a stolen wallet mission, so we might get some gear for it. It's just the case of killing some thugs, but we do get a non-aggression pact with Hip Sing Tong, which is quite nice, because he definitely wants to make friends with us. Now this is a little bit of a weird street battle. We are pretty heavily outnumbered here. But luckily they're all in the position where Alphonse can use his rain of fire and pretty much pin 4 of them down. So we get good damage on 3. And the 4th because he decides to move. Now he does actually try and give us a hit, but he misses. So we can continue. We also get a couple of guards that we can use from the building nearby in the street. They're a bit of a distance away. I'm going to move Maria to try and kill this nearest chap. And luckily she gets 2 hits to finish him off. And meanwhile, we're moving our outfit guards in. I don't think we need them, but it was just on the off chance that we did. Meanwhile, I need to be slightly careful of Alphonse. I don't want to get into his rain of fire. So we're going to get a nice shot off there, kill a thug with Hugh. Meanwhile, these other thugs are going to move and they're going to die. So I'm enjoying Alphonse's special actually. One of the better specials. The other one is the Undertaker guy, who's got one called Last Rites, which is also particularly good. He unloads his entire clip into any enemies within a certain radius. That's another good one that I found. So this outfit guard is going to get a nice burst fire on us, and we actually get really lucky here. She gets all 3 hits and kills the faraway thug straight away for us, which just lets Maria go up close and finish off the final one.
Yeah!
And we got a decent bit of cash for that. Plus we're going to go to the citizen, give him back his wallet, and he's going to give us a reward as well. And meanwhile our notoriety is steadily climbing, and you can see our cash is going up pretty decently as well.
What do you want?
So I was just having a look at Alphonse's bonuses there.
Gotcha.
Nothing too drastic for us, and we're fortunate that there is another mission directly across the road. So eventually we became neutral with the Donovans. It doesn't look like they actually wanted war with us. I'm not really sure why we went to war with them, whether it was a sidetrack of a mission, but there was no real repercussions to that. Now Maria's on to tier 3 for her traits, and we're going to get her a run and gun trait, so she can use full 2 action points and then do a shot as well.
Gotcha. You got it.
So that was a bit of a bug actually, that this guy was called AI. I'm pretty sure he should have been called Henry. We lost some barrels because there was a dead body, so we're going to try and investigate the body. The game didn't like me clicking it from one side, so we have to go all the way around, but eventually we managed to investigate the body.
Alright. Yeah.
And it's another mission that we need to deal with.
Yeah?
Yes?
You got it. You got it.
So we need to go all the way down south
You got it.
to deal with this one. But meanwhile, I want to take a look at our equipment, see if we can give anyone any upgrades. I've got a few herbal remedies and some smelling salts, so we'll give them out to people. And more of our businesses are being upgraded, so our alcohol quality is going up, we're making some good money. So all in all, the Capone family is doing fairly well.
Hot damn!
And we meet this chap who says that there's a thug that might want to be fighting us, and rather than engage in combat, I'm going to try and use my persuasive skills.
Gotcha.
So that was a nice, pretty easy mission for us, and we pick up a nice Thompson, which I'm going to give to the main man himself, because he doesn't actually have a primary. I don't get any special rounds, unfortunately, but at least he now has a decent machine gun and a decent second.
Gotcha.
And with that, I kind of want to clear up the neighbourhood for the easy buildings. All my other buildings have got half decent security now. I do need to upgrade the Southside Brewery, which I'm conscious of doing. So I head on over there in an effort to invest the little bit of money that we have into the security there. So everywhere else has got double security and is looking pretty good. So I'm not too worried of attacks. We've got a nice amount of people on the streets. And then we get a nice arrangement with Hip Sing Tong, who's actually going to give me brothel security decrease in cost, which is very nice. It's only 2%, but it all adds up. So again, I want to upgrade the alcohol and security here. I can see probably just security for now. I don't want to be too short on cash because I may need some for missions. So for now we just go with the upgraded security. And I definitely want to get this level 1 building, which is going to be our last mission for the episode. But we know that Yale is over there. So I actually end up going to speak to him.
All right.
And we find out here from one of my guards that not is all as it seems. He's actually been picked up and they're asking for a 100 grand ransom, which we're not going to be paying. So we need to go find him, go to the freight house. This is something that he's going to have to be dealt with, but not in this episode. We'll have to save Frankie next episode. For now though, I want to have a chat with Hugh, because Hugh's got his own little mission. So your companions can have their own little side missions. And he's going to tell me that there's someone in town that used to be in the army with him, and that he wants me to find for him. So that is exactly what we're going to do. And luckily the person that we need to find is in one of our rackets, so we can just head straight there.
This is the deployment.
So I was just trying to have a quick look through to see how we were. Also, it's important to see how we are with the police, because if our notoriety is too high with them, we're going to have some problems and we're going to get raided.
You got it. Gotcha.
So some of my workers are actually going to find out exactly what information I need from them, and we don't necessarily need the sass.
Gotcha.
And we finally get a
Understood.
location on our man, and we can go and grab him for our companion, and I'm hoping that it's going to give us a nice little bit of loyalty from him, because loyalty is important for our companions. If the loyalty is low, they're going to leave us.
Gotcha. Well, just is it?
And we meet the guy. But I kind of misread what our companion wanted. I thought he wanted him completely dead. Which I think he did, but then he gets a little bit annoyed at us. So I did slightly misread the situation, but in any case, we did the mission for him.
Time to bury you!
Can do.
And although Stanley's got some good health, he's not going to be able to deal with my crew and my guards. It's just unfortunate for him. This is going to be his end. And luckily we get Huey to be the last one to get that killing blow.
Yeah!
And we then pick up a note off the body.
What do you need?
Have a chat with Hugh. Hugh's not exactly too happy about it, but it does unlock a whole new quest for us, which we will eventually be able to go and find out. And he wanted him to talk, but that was my kind of mistake. He's a little bit cheesed off about it, but we get a unique item off it anyway, so I'm not too unhappy. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, that is Empire of Sin. I hope you all enjoy it. If you do, then do please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more episodes. If you like the retrospective look back on the commentary, then do let me know. If not, I can do live commentary, whichever you think might suit it better. But in the meantime, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.